This program is brought to you by thepodcastfactory.com.
Welcome back to another edition of Copy Chief Radio. With me is the Chief himself, Mr. Kevin Rogers. How are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm Mr. today. It was my birthday yesterday, so I'm feeling like a Mr.
You are a Mr. You have earned it. You actually said that you are in the bonus years. Could you just tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I was basically left for dead 10 years ago. Yeah, I won't go into a crazy long story, but it turns out, contracted a blood infection. But for 4 months, we didn't know what was wrong with me. And it was wicked scary because I was just sick. You know, I thought I had the flu or something, fever, high fever, really sick. And it was just not going away, man. And so I was fighting through it, taking a lot of, all the medicines you take when you have a flu to try to control fever. And it's just like, it was ongoing. And if I could impart one message to people when it comes to their health, and I don't know about all the politics of health insurance or all that stuff, but please get health insurance. Or even if you don't have health insurance, if you feel like you need to be at a hospital, just go to the hospital. Because look, I know it's a pain in the ass to go to the hospital. And, most times you sit around and wait and find out there's really nothing wrong. But I almost died only because I didn't really, when it was clear I needed serious medical attention. The reason I put it off, Jonathan, was I had applied for insurance and I didn't want to screw up my record and get denied or have to pay a higher rate, right? Yikes. So I almost nickel and dimed myself into an early grave. And I'm a grown man at this point. I was 35. I had a 2-year-old son, and that's not a responsible way to act. So I got very, very lucky. It was a terrible ordeal. We should do a whole episode on that one today. It's really fun, and it's actually a funny story in part. But I ended up having open heart surgery.
Wow.
I have a metal heart valve. And as a result, the one drag of, it's just great to be alive, right? So truly I am in the bonus round, could have easily died, like a 4-hour open heart surgery. Literally isn't it amazing? The man sewed a titanium piece onto my heart.
Whoa, you're the bionic man.
I'm bionic. I am freaking bionic. And it works every single day. And what's funny, dude, is I don't notice the ticking sound. At first, when I first had it, it was so loud. All I heard was this all the time.
Really?
Yeah, and I said, this is going to drive me crazy. I don't even know if I can live like this. And I said to the cardiologist, I'm going crazy with that ticking. I go, it's like Mississippi Queen is about to start, but never does. I keep waiting for the ba-na-na-na.
Wow.
And he goes, it'll calm down. I go, no, that doesn't sound good either. Why will it calm down?
I don't want it to calm down.
How is that a good thing? What is too calm? Is there a signal for that? And so anyway, as a result of having artificial hardware inside of me, I have to be on blood thinners, and I'm on a pretty high dose. So I have to be pretty vigilant. I can't really do physical stuff the way I would like to. I can't crack ribs and I can't get bruised up. And so like an idiot, for my 46th birthday yesterday, I decided, well, I like to start some kind of new challenge on my birthday every year. So I go to my first Brazilian jiu-jitsu class and very, very nearly cracked a rib. I don't think it's cracked. I think I just bruised the muscle under it.
Wow.
But my wife had warned me not to do it. And I literally sat there. It was pretty intense, I got to tell you. Hats off to all. I know there's a lot of people who do jiu-jitsu. It's no joke. You definitely got to start out with the fundamentals. And I kind of just dove in. And man, it is intense. And I felt like the injury happen in the middle of grappling with a guy. And I'm thinking, this is it. These are the last moments of my life. I'm bleeding internally right now. And
went my bonus time.
On my 46th birthday, I'm going to die on a mat right here. Anyway, I lived, and that's the deal with that. So yeah, every day's a blessing. It's easy to forget that, and just you got to live it to the most, man. Even if you've never, been on your deathbed, it just happens fast. So
yeah,
make the most of it.
Good stuff, man. So I derailed you. I know we have a plan today.
We do.
What's the plan?
There is a point to the show. So today we're going to talk about videos, online video, and not, long form video sales letters, but I'm talking about really short video. You've been hearing this mantra for a couple of years now that video is everything. Video will continue to be everything. It's the future, and it just is so true. It's you can still have a sales page without a video. I know one guy in particular who, I think we're going to interview his copywriter coming on an upcoming episode, who doesn't use video, and it always fascinates me. I think he's leaving a lot of money on the table. But here's the thing, Jonathan. Here's what's making everything so different is mobile traffic. Some companies, some products, up to 80% of their traffic is mobile. And a good average is above 50. Just about everybody I talk to is above 50 now. And so the big question is, how are we going to get people to buy off of a video when they're on mobile? Because it's just a totally different relationship. And we have to meet our customers where they are. And so video is the key, but it's not going to be long form VSL video anymore. It's going to be short video that engage, that, leave enough open loop for people to want to come get more. And, until we really get the apps together and the resources and the ways for people to make it a very easy decision to buy mobily, we're going to have to get them over to the desktop so we can get better engagement, make it much easier for them to fill out order forms and that kind of thing.
Now, Kevin, one of the things that I think that and I don't know if it's your specialty or maybe it's just my observation, but you are really good with short form content with a call to action. I mean, is that something that you do specialize in, or is that just something that I'm seeing and it might not even really be happening?
No, it's really happening, man.
It's not an illusion.
Yeah, it's something I've focused on a lot. It kind of started as just for kicks. One thing I like about Facebook is using video, and I don't know why. I just like making. Most people are apprehensive about sticking a little camera in their face. I seem to be addicted to it, and now all these things are happening that make that a really good thing for your business. I'd never really had an agenda for video, say on Facebook before. Because I did so many of them, I always tracked the engagement. I remember the first time I did where I just gave a quick copywriting tip and it just went viral immediately. It got like 2,000 views in like the first couple of days. And the thing that really got my attention was how many shares. I think it had like 12 shares. And I'm like, whoa, this is different, right? And so then I started, reverse engineering. What did I do different in this one? There were a few things. It was made in my car, which is often the case. The reason I love making videos in my car is that I can mount the camera, so it's safe if I'm driving, although people do get uncomfortable when you're driving in your videos. It does. You are kind of always waiting for the person to crash.
Oh, gosh. That'd be terrible.
I just want a little caveat here. Do not ever make a video where you're holding your camera. It's just totally stupid and uncool. But I don't even look at the camera. I look at it like this. My camera's mounted on the windshield. It's facing me. But I'm not even looking at the camera. I'm watching the road. I treat it like if you were sitting next to me, this is the conversation we'd be having. It's no less safe. But a lot of people do it stupidly. They're holding their camera up and they're distracted. So don't be dumb about it. But, and so a lot of times now I'll still do them in the car, but I'll park. I'll just pull over, or before I get out of the car, I'll just rip off a quick video. I also love making them from the car wash because even though it's a little loud, I think in a weird way that makes people listen harder because there's noise. And it's kind of funny to watch somebody in the car wash because there's something to watch other than just this talking head, right? There's soap and shit everywhere.
There's motion.
There's motion, right? That's what I like about the driving videos is the motion is interesting, and I think it's kind of an interesting subtext, this idea of movement and moving forward, right? But so yes, what I've learned is that especially if you're going to give a tip video, there's a couple little tricks to it. One thing is, you don't want to make it feel too branded or too much like it has a purpose. It still needs to feel casual, like a cool conversation. So you don't want to ramble and not get to the point, but you don't want to be super formal about it either. So find that balance of having fun, being conversational, but also getting right to the point. So what I do now is I use a formula I created called the POSER formula. And I called it that because, most people look at a poser as a negative thing.
Yeah. Don't be a poser,
Don't
dude.
Don't be such a poser. That guy's a poser. But what I like about it is, look, if you're sticking your face in a camera and posting that video up to the world, you're being a poser, whether you want to pretend you are or not. So what you need to do is just embrace that and be a poser with a purpose so that you're actually sharing something valuable, right? And so I just, these are just little tips videos. And so I don't try to trick people into pretending it's not what it is. My rule for them is they need to be under 2 minutes.
Perfect.
That's really because I found that is the mark where, we all do the same thing. When you see there's a video and it starts to play, say it's on Facebook, you get that it starts to play automatically with no sound. So you want to do something interesting in the beginning to get people to click on and go, what's going on here? But then the next thing they're doing is they're immediately checking the length, right? Like what am I getting into? If this is 6 minutes long, I doubt I'm going to care that long, right? But I've just found if it's under 2 minutes, if that first number can be a 1, even if it's 159, people will give it a shot. They figure, all right, I'll at least give him 30 seconds to see if he can win me over for 2 minutes. And so that's one rule. And then I say just in the beginning exactly what it is. So my tips videos have gotten pretty formalized in regards to, it's like, here's what it is. It's me from Copy Chief. It's Kevin Rogers here from Copy Chief. And today we're going to talk about this. So within the first 7 seconds, they know exactly what they're in for.
Perfect.
And if the topic is something they know they need or is helpful to them, they're going to stick, right? They're going to give me 2 minutes if I earn it to let me teach them something. And I have a little bit of fun in there. I've gotten good at editing. It's amazing if you're on iOS. Your iPhone probably came standard with the iMovie app.
Yeah.
And dude, it is amazing what you can do with that little app.
Really? I've never even tried it.
Oh, you got to play with it. You have an iPhone?
Yeah.
Oh, you got to go play with this app. Just make any video, just you talking into it and just start playing with the buttons. It's the best way to learn what you can do, but you can obviously, cut the video. You can put transitions. So like a dissolve or a fade to black. You can put music underneath it.
Wow.
You can put titles on the screen. There's even themes that you could just use that have all that stuff sort of standard built into it that you could, that it would make it almost look like a movie trailer. I think that's a little overdone sometimes, but, you just have a blast with it, dude. So, and now here's the funny thing about it. Even though I do a lot of editing, because I have found I love to do one solid take where it really feels like I'm just sharing a moment with somebody, right? But I have found overall it's better to cut out any superfluous, not every word, but if I go off on a 5-second thing that just doesn't belong there, or it's any reason for them to get bored and click off, I just delete it.
Interesting.
And you're better having a bunch of cuts in your video than risk it getting off track or boring. Play with those, all that editing. Let me just stick on some of the other takeaways. So 2 minutes, and then you want to give a really good tip. So Can I give the formula, Jonathan? You like to smack me on the wrist.
I see it here, but I think you're already, by the time this goes out, you've already put it out on the blog. So
you're
I
right.
guess
I'm going to give it out there. So here we go. It's POSER. Here it is. P is for promise. So the first thing you're going to do is promise what you're going to deliver in the video. Hey, it's Kevin Rogers from Copy Chief, and today I'm going to teach you how to write a great headline. That's it. O is obstacle. And then I go into how people get this wrong. A lot of people screw up headlines for one good reason. They try to close the deal in the headline. Boom. That's it. That's the whole part right there. Obstacle. So people can nod and go, yeah, you know what? I've probably done that, or I've seen that done. S is the solution. I go, here's what you want to do instead. Never start writing your copy with your headline. There's no way you can have the perfect headline before you've written the body copy of your ad. And then I kind of go into some other reasons. The E is example. And then so I'll say, here's an example of a headline that tries to close the deal. And then I'll read it, or maybe I'll even show it on screen. Another cool thing, you could pull it up on your laptop, take a picture of it with your iPhone, and drop that photo right into the video.
Holy cow.
Isn't that awesome?
It's scaring me. I'm like, damn, I thought I could just shoot a video and be done with it.
But you know, it's so easy once you get going on it. You'll just be flying around adding these things in, and it's so fun, man. Dude, if I could do nothing else all day but make these little iMovie videos and get rich, that's what I'd be doing.
Really? Wow.
It's all I ever want to do. It's so fun. And talking to you, of course. Yeah, dude, podcasting and videos. That's when I'm having the most fun. Okay, so that's E, and then R is just reach. So you've promised what you're going to give them. You've shown them the obstacle. That creates tension, and it gives some juxtaposition to how it's done well. It's really important to get the obstacle in there. How do people screw this up? You're not saying, here's how you're probably screwing this up, you idiot. You're saying, here's how a lot of business owners get this wrong. If they want to include themselves in that, fantastic. Solution, you're showing them. That's basically the big magic, the takeaway. Then you're giving them an example of a bad version and the better version. And then reach is, if this was helpful to you and you want more free tips on how to write better copy, come see me over at copychief.com.
Nice.
That's it. So that's 2 minutes. And, you can see how quick it could be. It could be just probably the longest section is the solution and the example. But everything else is just making sure it's like a little tiny TV show where people go, wow, that was great. He told me what he's going to give me. He gave it to me. Then he told me he gave it to me. And now he told me where to come get more. What more could you do with 2 minutes of somebody's attention? You just have to keep in mind that is like the most valuable thing somebody can pay you is their attention.
For sure.
And it's hard to get and it's hard to keep. So when you have a formula like this and you kind of know the punchline before you start the joke, so to speak, it goes a long way for, creating good content.
Good stuff, man. So I guess you're more of a fan of putting your face on video than the slides or anything like that, huh?
You could do both. Yeah. I mean, if you really just, get queasy at the idea of going up on, then you could do it all. You could do it all with text slides, even in that same app, So yeah, you don't have to be on, but I really think that people react to another face. If you just sit there and flip through the channels on your TV once, all you'll see is head after head after head after head after head. Everything's a head. There's no hit TV show that's just words on the screen.
No kidding.
Right? It's just heads. That's all you see is heads. So put your face out there. I'm proof that you don't got to be pretty to do it. You just got to be comfortable with yourself and have some fun. And you'll be amazed at how people react to it. So we held this contest because I know a lot of people are apprehensive about doing it. So inside of Copy Chief, I held a POSER video challenge. I taught the formula like I just did here, and I said, let's have a contest, and everybody who wants to submit a video. And you've seen it, Jonathan. The cool thing was, for some members, it was their first ever post, was posting up this video, right?
Crazy.
What cojones?
That is crazy.
I love that. I mean, and they say, oh, this is great because I've been really meaning to get out of my comfort zone and get out in front of the camera. And to me, it's so charming to watch somebody do their first video because they're a little self-aware and they're a little uncomfortable, but they're never more genuine than in that moment, and I just loved every one of them. And so if you're listening, you can go to copychief.com and type in, search POSER, POSER. You'll see the artist, a part 1 and part 2 article where I show you all the people who submitted their videos, and I show you how one of our best members, who you're going to hear me talk about a lot on this show, Wardy Harmon, because she's amazing and she implements everything and it all leads to more and more success in her business. But she's a more advanced marketer. But she used the formula and posted it up on Facebook. Now, it was on her fan page, which she has 150,000 likes on her page. But she did not pay a dime even to boost this video. And she had 20,000 views.
Wow.
And, like 1,500 likes and a ton of shares and a ton of comments. And it led to, I don't know the final number, but a bunch of sales of people.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing, dude? I mean,
so cool.
Not even a Facebook ad, but if she ran it as a Facebook ad, I'm sure she'd kill with it.
Yeah, clean up with that thing.
Just a piece of content. It was about what to do when you run out of mayonnaise, how to make your own mayonnaise at home. And she's just fabulous on video, but you'll see Wardy's video and the results she got over there at copychief.com on the blog as well.
Very cool, Kevin. So we are coming to a close on this episode of Copy Chief Radio. What do you have coming up for us next time?
Next one's going to be great. We got our man Ross O'Loughlin is coming back to talk about USPs, the ultimate. I don't even know. I forget what it's called. You know why it's funny? What just happened is he and I have been talking about trying to give it a new name, but it traditionally stands for unique selling proposition, which is a little boring, right?
Yeah.
So we're playing with new things to call it. But Ross has become sort of the master of the USP, and I know that he's given you some help, Jonathan.
Some? I mean, he gave me a schooling. I was like, holy cow. It was like 10,000 words on what I could be doing better.
Yeah, he's amazing. And so Ross is going to come on. Yeah, and we're going to talk specifically about the Podcast Factory USP, where you started with it, where it's ending up. And I think you're going to bring on your copywriter too, huh?
I'm going to let him take the whooping this time.
I love it.
All right, cool. So I'm looking forward to that. That is a wrap for Copy Chief Radio. We will be back in your earbuds next week. Thank you for tuning in. And thank you, Kevin, for sharing your POSER formula with us.
Thank you, brother.
You've been listening to Copy Chief Radio. Thank you for tuning in. If you're digging what we are laying down for you, then your next step is to go over to iTunes, type in Copy Chief Radio into the search bar, and when you find a show, subscribe. We will be back in your earbuds next week.
This is the podcastfactory.com.